Hi, welcome to week 2. I just wanted to say I was very impressed with the presentation and posts for last week. Um, as I said to you specifically, I'll be sending out rubrics today or tomorrow at the latest so that the groups have more specific feedback, and this will only just be sent to the specific groups that submitted. So this week we're looking at Canadian healthcare, and even though there is only required reading for one chapter, I really recommend or strongly recommend that you all examine the Canadian Health Act, which is under your supplemental readings. Um, and on reflection, I really think I probably should have made this required reading, but in any case, the basics of this legislation is really essential for understanding this unit. So, wiki people, perhaps consider doing a quick synopsis of the Canada Health Act, if you don't mind, for your colleagues in the class. And post. So your group will be discussing a model of care. So this means you can be looking at a country. So example, Sweden may have the best healthcare system based on their outcomes. So how do they distribute their healthcare? Um, how is their healthcare services organized? But remember, this is really high level. People write thesis on this topic or PhD dissertations on Sweden's healthcare. I by no means am expecting you to go to that level of detail. Just want you to maybe make a couple comments about why their certain type of healthcare, which is a blended approach, might be good. A lot of people, especially as a Canadian program, we really like to focus on the Americans and what the Americans are doing, and that's fine. But I want you to talk to me about what's good and bad about their system, what part is public, and what do Americans think about their what is public in their healthcare. So, example is Medicare, which is what's available to people who are over the age of 65, and also veterans care, which is all public. And so, it's just sort of an interesting dichotomy to look at how the U.S. is very focused on wanting to repeal Obamacare, but at the same time, they don't want you to touch their Medicare. So anyway, just interesting, but it's up to you. And you could also just look at privatization, and you could look within Canada if you want to, and look at some of the ways that we're privatizing some aspects of our healthcare and what you think about that. So presentation, you guys are going to look at a video that I found last term to use around refugee and immigrant healthcare. So the video is still there, but that was really related to Stephen Harper's government. And so there's lots of changes. So I asked you guys to research the new government's position. The best way to figure out what a government's position is to actually just go online and look up that party platform website. And this would be on a federal level. So you could look up what the Liberal Party says in Saskatchewan on refugee healthcare. That might be interesting. But probably most of your changes are going to be also indicated on the federal website. But anyway, I would definitely look at both of those. And you could also seek out just terms like reform and refugee healthcare in Canada. It's probably a good tagline to find out some information. I think this is an extremely relevant topic. If you listen to any world news or global news, the issues with ISIS and refugees and what's happening in Syria is top billing, and it's constantly being talked about. And we did have a bit of a protest. I would use the term loosely, but we did have some people who were very vocal on the legislative steps in Saskatchewan just even a few months ago about our premier's reluctance to accept Syrian refugees to Saskatchewan based on what happened in Paris. And so I think this is a really good topic, and it's relevant to us in this course. So that's it for the week. As far as the paper goes, some of you are writing paper ideas to me already, and I think that's great. You do not need my approval for your topic, but I am more than willing to give my opinion if you want it, or if you feel better about starting your paper after talking to me. I'm completely open to that, and I love hearing about your ideas. I'm thinking about setting up a paper session with the librarian, writing services, and myself. I know probably many of you feel like you've already done these sessions a lot of times, so I don't want to do it if you don't think it's helpful, but sometimes people might appreciate just having that bit of a reminder and have another opportunity to be in front of me to talk really just about the paper. I am going to try and throw together a couple of tips for what makes a good paper, just so you have it in hard copy. So I've got that on my list of things to do. So just if people want to respond to me about how they feel about setting up a session, we'll look at that, and then I can even maybe do a survey monkey to figure out what times work best for students so that I can make sure that those who want to come are able to come. I also just want to let you know, as a housekeeping item, that I am in clinical on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So if you write to me on a Tuesday night, it may feel like a very long time before I get back to you. So I just wanted to make sure that you are aware that I am in clinical on Wednesdays and Thursdays, so I may not always be as responsive on those days. But I do generally, out of curiosity, check the web page in the evenings and on the weekends. So I really just want to stay on top of things, and I want to be available for you so you feel supported in this course. So just bear in mind that, and if you really need me desperately, just call my office. And again, 306-775-7986, but that number is also in the course syllabus. So I guess at the end of the day, I'm thinking that I just want to make sure this course is really interesting to you guys. And I know a lot of these concepts can seem difficult or far removed from what you've been doing so far. And I think it'll be really hard to find it interesting if you don't understand. So if you're struggling with an idea or a concept, please let me know, and I will do my best to make it more exciting, more informative, maybe talk about it from a different perspective so that you can understand what the intention of the unit or module or content is. So that is it, and I really look forward to the posts and the presentation this week. Have a great week. Thanks. Did that not even